Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mr. Klein at Mr. Klein Studios, deep in the heart of the G-Wing. And now we're talking about how to restrict the domain. All right, so we're looking at A. A is, that's right, a quadratic function. And it says we're going to graph it on the standard window. We know that the standard window goes from -10 to 10. We learned that in that last very impressive video that we watched. So let's go ahead and type this into Y1, and then you're going to hit zoom and go down to standard, and you're going to see a parabola. There it is. Looks something like that. And we're going to say, you know what? A parabola, because it changes from decreasing to increasing, it fails that horizontal line test, and this one has no inverse. Now, look what we're going to do on B. B, exact same question, but this time the domain is restricted to only where x is greater than 4. Now, I still want you to use the standard window on this one. We're still going to go from -10 to 10. But we need to tell the calculator that we only want to see the part where x is bigger than 4. And believe it or not, your calculator is smart enough to do this. Now, watch the way you type this in, the syntax. You're going to type the regular equation, and then when it's time to put in the inequality, you're going to put a division bar. I want to be clear, you're not dividing by anything. This is a separator that tells the calculator that it is time for an inequality. The inequality is going to go in parentheses, so hit a left parenthesis and then an X, and then you need to find the greater than or equal to button. It's right here where it says test. I assume you've never hit that button for fear that you would suddenly have to take a test. You won't, I promise. All you're going to have to do is come on down here to greater than or equal to, hit enter. We want greater than or equal to 4, end parenthesis. So let's look at this. If you have your equation, and then the division as a separator, and then in parentheses your inequality, when you hit the graph button, ta-da! See how we only get the half of the graph that is 4 or larger. And hey, what do you know? That looks like this. Now the function is always increasing, which means you betcha we've got ourselves an inverse. Let's do one more with a restricted domain. On this one, looks like we've changed the equation just a little bit. So I'm going to clear all of this out. 0.01 x squared plus 1 is our equation. And the domain that we're going to use has two inequalities in it. It has from 0 to 8, which means that we're doing 0 is less than x, and we're also doing x is less than 8. This is going to give us a window where we're in between 0 and 8. You have to type it in this way. So we're going to say division bar, parentheses, 0 is second test less than x. Back to test. Now this time we need to type in an and you find that by going to logic. So you're going to click 1 over and then select and. If you don't select the and, it won't graph properly for you. X is second test beep, beep, boom, boom, less than 8 end parenthesis. So your calculator should look like this. And if it looks like that, and you use the standard window, should just be able to hit the graph button. And oh, there we go. See how dun, 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 dun. Just get that little chunk right there. And I can see that that's always increasing, which means that this function has an inverse. And there you have it. You know how to use your calculator just a little bit better than you did 20 minutes ago.